Today's financial advice is sponsored by Endeavor Private Wealth. Well, Chris McGee, managing partner at Endeavor Private Wealth, is joining us for our weekly segment on investing. Chris, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, Chris, I understand you have a little something different for us, something we might not think about, but perhaps we should. And would you like to explain a little bit more?
Certainly, Dane. TV shows like this one and many others hopefully provide investors with useful information that may improve financial decision making. However, we don't often think about what TV game shows can teach us about the process. And that's what I'd like to discuss.
All right. Well, I guess they are about people, winning or losing money or other items of value in different situations and circumstances. So it does sound a lot like investing. Where would you like to start?
Let's start with Let's Make a Deal.
All right.
A quintessential TV game show that's making a comeback. The participants play the role of traders who are given the choice of whether to keep something of value or exchange it for a different item, potentially of greater value, but there's no assurances. And they could end up with something worth a lot less. There are many iterations of the game, but the one I find most interesting is referred to as the Monty Hall paradox. And that's where traders have the choice of three doors. One that contains the true prize, and two doors that contain zonks, or zonks just being silly little gifts like a live goat or a beat up jalopy. After a choice is made, one of the doors that was not chosen is open to reveal one of the zonks. Then the trader is offered the ability to trade their original choice for an item behind the other unopened door.
Okay, so well, isn't it a kind of person's first choice, their best choice then?
Well, that could be, especially if they're answering multiple choice questions on a test. But in the case of Let's Make a Deal, the trader would have no subject matter or knowledge on the item, only intuition, unless they understand and apply conditional probability and reasoning. So the question they have to answer is whether taking the trade, choosing that other door, improves their chances of winning.
All right, well, I guess if it were me, I'd stick with my first choice.
Well, people often do that. Unfortunately, if you traded and chose the other door, you would actually improve your odds of winning. The paradox is that switching doubles your chances of winning from 1 out of 3 to 2 out of 3.
Okay, I think I see it. So it's a counterintuitive a little bit. How does this relate to investment and wealth planning then?
Well, investment and wealth planning often involves issues that are emotionally charged and that can touch deep-rooted feelings. Consider a couple of other game shows, the Newlywed Game or Family Feud. Discussions about money between spouses, between parents and their children, and between adult children and their aging parents can be difficult, even contentious. Sometimes it seems easier to maintain family harmony by avoiding decisions and discussion about money altogether. However, silence almost never solves financial issues. And like all TV game shows, the participants are under time constraints. And that adds pressure and stress, conditions which are not optimal for good decision making.
So what would you suggest, Chris?
Since no one has the ability to predict future investment results, investment modeling techniques that utilize statistical analysis and multiple probability simulations can be used to estimate possible outcomes of an uncertain event, whether you're choosing a door or choosing a retirement income strategy. A trusted financial professional may be able to help break the silence around issues relating to money and to talk about them in a more constructive manner. Then help them to find their balance and balance emotions and feelings with reason and logic to improve the decision-making process.
Well, Chris, I bet there's more we can learn about investing from TV game shows. I hope to have you back and share more of your insights with us.
Absolutely, Dane. That's a deal.
All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Of course, everybody, to learn more about Endeavor Private Wealth, visit EndeavorPW.com.